Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tracy Glover Williams, and I'm the District Registrar for the Shaker Heights City School District. Later in the presentation, you will also meet Dr. Megan Shelby, our Director of Student Services. Tonight, we are addressing the basics about school enrollment. If you have additional questions, please reach out to my office. The information is on the screen, or to the school that is assigned to your address directly. And if you need help in knowing which school that is, you can call my office at 216-295-4321. Next slide, please. Our school district has 5 K through 5 elementary school buildings. And you can see them on the slide: Boulevard, Fernway, Lomond, Mercer, and Onaway. And our lovely cohort of principals of our K-5 buildings are also pictured. And we have one middle school serving grades 6 through 8, as well as our high school, which serves students in grades 9 through 12. Our preschool program will be moving to the renovating and newly renovated Ludlow Early Learning Center this August, and will serve 3- and 4-year-old students. Our district mission and vision: we strive to educate the whole child to be prepared to become a confident and competent citizen in our community, our country, and in the global society. The district will nurture, educate, and graduate students who are civic-minded and prepared to make ethical decisions, who are confident, competent communicators, skillful in problem-solving, capable of creative thinking, who have career motivation and a knowledge of our global and multicultural society. And of course, our vision is that our schools, the Shaker schools, would be the first choice for all students who live in our school district. And now I will turn it over to Dr. Shelby to talk about our preschool enrollment process.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this session. I'm here to talk about the preschool enrollment process for next year. We will be serving children ages 3 and 4 years old. And as most of you know, the Ludlow Early Learning Center will be opening in August of 2025. So we're very excited about that. We are encouraging families to register as early as possible to ensure a spot in preschool. And I will go through that process. To apply for the Ludlow Early Learning Center program, parents need to complete registration in Preschool. And I do want to note that while we have many more classrooms next year than we currently do, space is still limited. After you complete the registration in Preschool, the preschool enrollment team will notify parents if there's space available for your child. And I also want you to note that we need to save spaces for students with disabilities who may be evaluated and identified throughout the school year. So we do need to hold spaces to ensure that we can accommodate all students that might need that space for their individual education plans. To continue the enrollment process, once you complete the application in Preschool, parents will be notified if there's space available for their child starting in February. To confirm your child's enrollment, you'll be notified that you need to complete some remaining preschool specific forms that will hold a space for your child. Thus, after February, there will be a rolling enrollment process with monthly notifications until all spots are filled. And I also want to note, if parents do not complete the required preschool forms, their space will be given to somebody else. That's going to be how we know that someone is actually intending to send their child to the Ludlow program. This is a tuition-based preschool, with the exception for students who have disabilities and have individualized education plans. There's no cost for the half-day program for students with disabilities, but for other non-disabled children, it is a tuition-based program. There's specific information about the tuition at shaker.org/preschool. And also note there are several ways to either receive reduced costs or even scholarships. So there is a reduced cost structure for families who are eligible for free or reduced meals. We also have scholarships through UPK, Universal Pre-K grant, which the district received this year, allows scholarships to be given to qualified families that would take away some of the cost of the tuition. We also now accept vouchers through the Department of Jobs and Family Services. We have people on our preschool team that are happy to assist families with this process and are able to answer any questions you have about the costs or tuitions or funding sources. I'm sorry, I just got a message here that I want to make sure. Sorry, I'm not seeing that. Okay. I'm having technical difficulties. I am sorry. Oh, the message here is
Is it a, I'll jump in.
okay.
So to continue on the preschool enrollment process, if your student by chance is currently enrolled as a 3-year-old and they will continue as a preschooler as a 4-year-old, they do not need to re-enroll. Parents of returning preschool students should notify their child's teacher as soon as possible to let them know if they plan to participate in the program last year.
Thanks. Thank you, Tracy. And also for this year, we do still have spaces available for children right now in our preschool program. If you're interested in enrolling your child for this school year, you can call Courtney Blockson, who is the preschool secretary, at the number listed there if you're interested in enrolling for the remainder of this school year. She's also able to answer general questions about the preschool as well.
So now I'm going to talk a bit about enrollment and registration in the Shaker Heights City School District. So enrollment for the 2025-2026 school year should open tomorrow, but it will be open by the end of this week. We're a public school district, and enrollment is ongoing. We don't run out of space. We don't have hard deadlines, but still, we strongly encourage you to enroll your child as soon as possible. So anyone who's interested in our preschool program, anyone who's enrolling kindergarten students, anybody who's transferring in somebody at the places where we see students come in, grade 6, grade 9, the sooner you enroll your student, it will help our administrators and staff and teachers plan for the coming school year. Before sitting down to begin the enrollment process, I would advise, and so would my assistant, Mrs. Morris, that you gather the documents that you need. And so on your screen, you can see you're going to need your child's birth certificate and immunization record. You're going to need a photo ID for the parent or guardian who's enrolling the student. And it could be a driver's license, it could be a passport. If your student has an individualized education plan, you will need that, or 504 plan. if applicable, also any shared parenting agreements or court orders. And for students coming in at that, particularly at that ninth grade entry point or even beyond that, if there are transcripts or report cards, those would be super helpful as well. And then we also, the Shaker Heights City School District, we are not open enrollment. Our schools are for students who live within the boundaries of the Shaker Heights City School District. And so in order to verify residency, we do require 3 proofs of residency. We require either a proof of home ownership or a current lease, as well as then the other 2 proofs could be any combination of the other documents that you see on the screen: utility bills, bank statement, insurance statements, pay stub or employment verification, and any government agency related mail. So income tax mail, Social Security mailings, other government agencies that also send mail. All of that mail is acceptable as well. And then, as I was saying earlier, we should have enrollment open tomorrow, but if not, we are working really hard to get that link up live and running. So you would go to shaker.org and you would click on the enrollment portal. And if you're enrolling a new student for the coming school year, you would click the link that says 2025-2026 school year. Please, if you're enrolling a new kindergartner, a new preschooler, a new to us ninth grader, do not click the 24-25 school year, because the information is not transferable from one portal to the other. So if you're coming in new to us for the coming school year, please click the 2025-2026 link. If you already have a student in the district, if you have someone who started kindergarten maybe a year or so ago and you've used PowerSchool enrollment, you still have an account. You may have lost that password. So if you put your email address in and it says you already have an account, use the help me find my password link, and then you will be able to enroll your student. For anybody who has a current student, it is not the parent portal PowerSchool account. That's a separate portal for grades and other things. The PowerSchool enrollment platform is separate from that parent portal platform. And then you'll follow the steps in enrollment. There are next buttons along the bottom of the screen. And once you have everything submitted, you go ahead and you sign it electronically and you submit your application. And then you will choose a time for a virtual phone appointment. The appointments are by phone for the most part. There are some upcoming kindergarten events. This is a great screen. There's the calendar QR code, but also if you want to take a picture. On April 26th, we have our annual kindergarten kickoff event from 1 to 4 p.m. The location is to be announced, but that is for all incoming kindergarten students. And then on May 14th, which is a Wednesday evening, at 6 p.m. at each of the 5 elementary school buildings, there will be an incoming kindergarten information night, and you would go to the one for the building that your student will be enrolling as a student at. And then in early August, there will also be some kindergarten open houses at each of the K-5 buildings as well for families, and as well as usually PTO schedules, our parent-teacher organization. There will also probably be some play dates, particularly in August as we lead up to the opening of school. And then kindergarten screenings. This is when the teachers and other staff will meet with you and your kindergarten student in small groups, usually at the beginning of the school year. And these screenings occur by appointment prior to the start of the school year in August. And staff from each building are our lovely administrative assistants. We are so fortunate to have really great administrative assistants at each and every one of our school buildings, but particularly your K-5 administrative assistants, as well as some administrative staff, will be they will be the people to reach out to you to let you know about scheduling those times for coming in for appointments. And please know, we appreciate that that our families are busy and parents are working and guardians are working. So we will work with your family to get you scheduled at a time that works for your schedule. And then we also have some middle school events. Bear with me. There are some middle school events. They've had some nights of, so our middle school is hosting 2 additional Rising 6th grade transition nights. So if you have someone who's transitioning into the district who's not currently one of our students, you are more than welcome to join either the January 27th program or the January 29th program. The same information will be shared at each of those nights. And again, and if you've missed your buildings, if you are a Lomond family or a Fernway family or a Mercer, not Mercer, I'm blanking on which one I'm missing. I always do this, but you are welcome to join one of these meetings. Or if you missed something the first time you were there and you want to go back and hear it again, feel free to go to either the night on January 27th or January 29th. Then on the evening of February 20th, there is a Rising Grade 6 music and foreign language night at 6 p.m. where students will get a chance to try out instruments again and talk to our band and orchestra teachers. And they also offer vocal music at the middle school, as well as all of our foreign language teachers and staff will be there to talk to students and their families. And then on May 6th, there is a special field trip just for the Rising 6th graders to visit. All of them are going to visit the middle school all together, and which is going to be really cool. And they will all go over, our class of 2032, they will all go over to the middle school on a field trip, and there will be a pep rally to conclude that event. So that will be a lot of fun for those kids. And then if you're a newly enrolling grade 6 through 8, again, we ask that you enroll as soon as possible, so it can help with planning the schedule for next year at the middle school. Each student is assigned to a school counselor at the middle school. I believe we now have 4 counselors at the middle school. Newly enrolled students and their parents will be able to meet with the counselor to discuss next year's classes and more. Our newly enrolling students, and students can begin, the middle school is where your child can begin to pursue things that maybe they have an interest or a passion or are curious about. So we have art, we have foreign language and music education, as well as athletics, team sports, as well as a whole host of after-school clubs, from Power of the Pen to clubs that are about recycling, clubs that are about Latin, just a plethora of activities for students to be engaged in. And the vast majority of our middle school students are eligible for bus transportation. And then for those of you who are particularly coming in with a 9th grader, there is on the evening of February 6th, our annual Rising 9th grade night. So this is when all of our current 8th grade students, as well as students who are coming into our district from many of the private schools that are in our area, the Rising 9th grade program is always a lot of fun. I think we have 8 counselors at the high school. They make it a really fun evening. There's games, and there's usually a student panel and a parent panel. It's a wonderful opportunity to be at the high school and see the high school and learn more about the high school and all the wonderful things that they have to offer. Later on in the spring, if not August, there will be an ice cream social and activity fair where students can learn about all of the clubs and activities that are at the high school. Of course, there are many athletic opportunities there at the high school. There are specific pages on our website about middle school and high school athletics for those of you who are interested in athletics. But if you have any questions about that, again, you can always give my office a call, and we are happy to help you connect to the people that you need to talk to. Again, with high school enrollment, we ask you to enroll as soon as possible to help us with program planning for the 2025-2026 school year. Each student is assigned to a school counselor at the high school. All current 8th grade and newly enrolled students in our district, regardless of grade, so if you're coming in for grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, you and your child will meet with the counselor to discuss classes for next year and more. You know, the career motivation, plans, where your child sees themselves during high school, after high school, and beyond. Students at our high school can continue to pursue art, music. Then we also have a theater program. We have career technical opportunities for our students in grades 11 and 12. Students are exposed to that program. They learn about it in grades 9 and 10, and then they make their choices about this time of the year by going over on a field trip to our career technical partners. And we have some options at our school as well. There's also advanced placement classes, college credit plus opportunities, and our IB International Baccalaureate diploma program, as well as all of those athletics and extracurricular activities that I mentioned earlier. So now we're going to get into the frequently asked questions, and I'm going to ask Dr. Shelby to take turns with me reading through these. These are questions that we receive every year. So I'll take this first slide. So people often ask, what do meals look like for my child? You know, breakfast and lunch are available for each student through the district's food service provider. There is a cost, but families who are eligible for free and reduced price meals will see a cost reduction for those meals. And as well as we do have before and after care options available in our buildings. We partner with Champions Childcare to offer before and after care at all of our K-5 buildings. And I believe we will also have that option at our preschool building. And info on registration, the hours, and the fees can be found at discoverchampions.com.
Okay, the next question is, what measures are in place to help my student adjust to being in kindergarten? So special attention is given to kindergarten students. And some of the things that the district does includes having an extra set of hands in classrooms, especially at the beginning of the school year, helping them get adjusted to being in school and what it means to be a student. We have learning experiences that help our youngest children get acclimated to school. We have, of course, supervised restroom breaks. There's a lot of supervision at that stage to help them get ready and to be more independent in the school setting. In most of the kindergarten classrooms, we do have restrooms attached to that. So we get a lot of questions about that as well.
Another frequently asked question that we get is about transportation. So what do I need to know about transportation? Bus assignments are sent to eligible families the week before school starts. You will also receive instructions on about setting up your PowerSchool parent portal, and you can view your students' bus assignment when it's ready via the PowerSchool parent portal, via the section that says transportation. And do I need to be present when the bus drops my child off at the bus stop? For our youngest students, yes. For kindergarten students, and you will need to be present when the bus brings your child back from school, and you should wait with them before the bus comes as well too. And then,
Okay. I
oh,
didn't know if you
sorry,
wanted me to take it or if you wanted to.
you can go ahead.
Okay, so when will the district calendar be finalized? So you know what days your child has to be in school and what days are off. There is a 2025-26 at a glance calendar at the website at shaker.org/calendar. That's been updated recently, so check that out. Even if you've looked at it in the past, there have been some adjustments to it. So the current calendar is online at this time.
Muted. So if you have any questions and you know which building you're going to, please feel free to reach out to Boulevard, to Onaway, to Fernway, to Mercer, to Lomond, with specific questions if you have them and you know which building you're going to. If you need help with knowing which building you're going to, there is a tool embedded on the enrollment page, but you could also just give my department a call at 216-295-4321, and me and my wonderful assistant, Mrs. Glow Morris, will be happy to help you get connected to the right people that you want to talk to. Again, the best number to reach us at is 216-295-4321. We are in the office from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. Our office is in the Shaker Schools Welcome Center, which is on the second floor of the Shaker Heights Main Library. And the library opens to the public every day at 9 a.m. And so you can come in and see myself or Mrs. Morris, and for any questions that you have. Um, the other thing I had wanted to say that I kind of skipped over. So in that enrollment portal, you will be asked to upload those documents that I talked about, the birth certificate, the ID, the immunizations. You know, you could use the Notes app or a scanner app if you use an Android phone. But if you just feel as though, oh, that's a lot, I need help, just you complete the application without attaching the documents. Choose your virtual appointment time that works for when the building's open and when the library is open, and you can bring your documents in, and me or Mrs. Morris, or usually during our busiest times, we even have an extra set of hands in the office. We can get your documents scanned and attached to your student and get the application completed that way. And I also wanted to say, starting the first Wednesday in February, which I believe is the 5th, I will be at a table every other Wednesday. So the 5th, and then not the following week, but the week thereafter, through the end of the school year, from 1 to 3 p.m. every Wednesday. If you have a question, if you need support, you will be able to find me there every other Wednesday starting February 5th from 1 to 3 p.m. in the lobby of the Shaker Heights Main Library. And uh, do we have more slides or no? I believe we have reached the end of our program. And if you still have questions that we didn't answer, thank you. If you still have questions that we didn't answer, just please give my office a call at 216-295-4321. My email is also on the screen. And, we look forward to supporting you in the enrollment process and meeting all of you in person between either at our office or at kindergarten kickoff or I know we will have events related to opening the Ludlow Early Learning Center as well. So I want to thank you for being here and have a wonderful night and stay warm.